Koren Zailckas. We're so pleased to have her here tonight, and thanks also to Borders Books and Music for being here and selling the books tonight. If you haven't already purchased her book, I suggest that you do so after Koren's presentation, and she'll be signing them. She'll also take some audience questions, so if you do have a question, please raise your hand and then stand when you ask your question so that you'll be heard more easily. When Koren Zailckas' book Smashed, the story of a drunken girlhood, was first released a year ago, it created a media sensation for revealing the realities and pervasiveness of alcohol abuse among young women. At 24, Ms. Zailckas gave up drinking after a decade of getting drunk, having blackouts, and experiencing brushes with comas, date rape, and suicide. She weaves disturbing statistics with her unnervingly honest, detailed accounts of her own profound abuse, which was accepted, encouraged, and chillingly commonplace. Though her writing is moving, even poetic, she never obscures the very dangerous aspects of her own experiences. This book is more than just a memoir or a cautionary tale. It is a brilliant, revealing, and horrifying look at the realities of our American culture. It's my great pleasure to introduce to you Koren Zailckas.
Hey gang, thanks for coming and braving the snow and sleet and whatever else is out there. I've never been to Chicago before, so I am disgustingly excited to be here. I was skipping around the city earlier, doing my oohing and ahhing, and I'm surprised people weren't like averting their eyes in horror and revulsion. But yeah, I wrote this book, Smashed, about my experiences drinking in high school and in college. And I wrote it for a couple of reasons. One personal, one cultural. On a personal level, I was 23 and living in New York, and I was quitting drinking, and I became preoccupied with this old memory that I had. Something I hadn't thought about in a long time, which was telling, because it was a really close call. It was a time I was 16 and had my stomach pumped after a night of drinking too much at a party. And so I hadn't thought about it in a while, and I suddenly couldn't stop thinking about it, so I sat down and wrote what later became that chapter in the book. But also on a cultural level during that time, I was hearing so much in the news about women of my generation and how we were drinking younger and more than all the generations of women who had gone before us, how it had really only started happening since the 1990s. And I didn't agree with what I was hearing from the experts, the sociologists and the psychologists. Seemed to be saying that girls like me were drinking more because we were so liberated and so self-confident and so bursting with girl power because we knew we could do anything boys could do, including matching them drink for drink. And I thought that was a little bit nuts because in my own experience, I've been drinking in large part because it was an expression of my unhappiness or my lack of self-confidence. I was drinking almost exclusively with my female friends, so I wasn't out there trying to prove that I was one of the boys. But I thought I'd start off reading a little bit from the book. I joined a sorority for a few years while I was a student at Syracuse, where I went to college. And it was there just indicative of the fact that I was drinking exclusively with women, because it was pretty much the only way I knew how to bond with women at that point in time. So I'm going to read you a little bit about pledging my sorority. What happened right before Hell Week was that they would give you a big sister or mentor who was supposed to be your closest friend and usher you through the whole process. And that was actually the only time in my sorority that I was ever hazed by being made to drink. It is the occasional tantalizing reminders that bait you. They're the sorority's way of keeping you on the line long enough to reel you in along with your semesterly dues. And Big Sister Week is the wriggling worm on the hook. Big Sister Week is 5 days of anonymous gifts, bouquets of flowers, and buckets of candy, not to mention shot glasses and cigarette lighters bearing dated letters. Every day our names are lettered on envelopes and lined up on the mantle. Inside them are cryptic clues that say too much without saying anything. So here, Koren, is clue number 3. Soon you'll know who your big sister will be. I'm from a small town not far away from a city. I have 2 dogs, a bird, and a kitty. When it comes to smoking cigarettes, I pass. unveiled at the finish line like a whopping grand prize. On Saturday, I show up at date at 8:30 p.m. as instructed by my final crew, wearing the plastic party store lei that came with it. I've spent the week pretending I don't know my big sister is Maya because I don't want to spoil her fun. There are 4 other pledges waiting in the foyer, variously outfitted for the occasion. One girl's wearing a pointed party hat, another's wearing striped leg warmers, and one unfortunate girl wears her bra outside of her shirt. There's the usual rumbling that happens when girls get together, the kind I always shrink from. Girls are comparing costumes and spitting up laughter, and the volume escalates until Zeta's president comes downstairs and tells everyone to shut the hell up. She gives us a math problem to solve. The final answer reveals the address that we're supposed to go to, and the driveway 2 cars wait to drive us there.